what's going on before I come back down. I wrote that last night. Welcome, morning folk on your way into work, on your way into the day. Welcome to the Mark Inspire Show, day 1,828 in a row. And we're here. Start the day on a positive note. Yes, I got some real estate news for you. That's going to be the morning thing, just in case you've been with me for a very long time. And you're like, well, but wait, this is a variety show. Yeah, it is a variety. You're starting with real estate, getting some comedy, get some positivity, lift you up into the day. And then when we get together later in the day, it's like a hype you up moment. Last night we wrote that ridiculous song, I Want to Touch the Stars Before I Come Back Down. That's a pretty cool song. If you have a chance, go check it out on my YouTube channel. It is Mark Inspires. So, how's everybody doing out there? Hope you're excited for the real estate breakdown for the day. We do this every morning. I pick a couple of news stories. We're going to go through them. A little comedy, while we're in the mix. Because we can't just talk about serious topics. 1,000. We got to have some lighthearted, comedic, news vibe to it. You know what I'm talking about. This is a call-in show. So if you do have a topic you'd like to discuss, or you have a question about something I'm saying, you can call in. The phone number is 203-903-CALL. Yeah, I had to search for a little while to get that one. It was either something Mark, something talk, or something call. I found call. Took me a little while. But anyway, we have it. So if you do want to call, I am live on Clapper, so I'll probably have to disrupt whatever's happening there. But that's fine because we're here to connect. 1,828 days in a row of connecting. So if you do find this feed, do me a favor and share it. Let people know there's a place to come, a safe space for you guys. There's a channel on YouTube that's been live every day since December 31st, 2018, and it's a place to connect. It's a place to let it all out, say how you're feeling. If you got any stresses going on in your life, you discuss it in the chat. There are people to lift you up. And then, yes, my content does nothing but lift you up. It's the most positive show on planet Earth. If you're having issues in your life with anxiety, with stress, if you're dealing with alcohol or drug dependency and you're trying to get away from it, this is the show for you. All we do is deal in high vibe energy. This is the place where you could forget about all your problems and you could lift yourself up in the moment and be with some other people who can make you feel the same. So join us here on the Mark Inspire Show. Let's get into the stories of the day. I do have Matt Zabrowski here. You guys know all about Zabrowski, right? He is the man. Zabrowski will hit you with a woohoo in just about 13 seconds. Wow, there's something to live for, yeah. There's something to die for, yeah. Guys, it's Wednesday, we're doing it. Oh, 2024, we're coming at you. Hump day, forget about it. We're in the process here. Zabrowski. I'm going to throw it to Zabrowski, get a real woohoo. Zabrowski. If I didn't throw it to Zabrowski, he'd probably be like, you got to give him the positivity first if you want to get it back. This is reciprocal positivity in 2024. What I give, you give. What you give, I give. It should be that way anyway. Most people want to get, but then they don't want to give. This is probably one of the issues we have in society at the moment. Not enough giving, more taking. We've become a self-society, selfish and less about the community. That's why I create this show every single day, this safe space, because there is at least one place on planet Earth that, first of all, is live every single day of the year. And you could come here and say what you want. You could come here and you don't have to feel like you're being hidden from the world. You don't have to feel like your voice doesn't matter, because here it does. In fact, how many times do I write songs based on what's said in the chat? Almost every single night. How many times do I create a comedy because someone in the chat says, hey, can you do a Coming to America scene? Can you do Grimm, the movie Grimm? Yeah, we made our own movie, Grimm. I haven't released it yet, but I've done so many insane things here just to help these people in the chat get away from the world they live in. And my hope would be if you come across this platform at some point and you're like, man, I'm really needing something right now, ask. You found the one soul on planet Earth that keeps giving. Every single day I show up and I give. I don't take anything back. I don't make any money for this. I'm a real estate agent. That's why I'm here to talk about real estate. I have to remind the people who do know about my show how I make a living, because the social media platforms have made it impossible for me to make anything for what I do. When you say things that are true, they sideline you. So for 5 years, I showed up every single day and no one ever knew about my show. And now we're here in year 6 and I got to shake things up. I can't do the same thing over and over and keep delivering truth and all this crazy, crazy in the moment reality because they won't let you find it. So now instead, I'm just trying to do what I do best, which is lift you up and provide that space. Write some songs. I invented the only drum in the world for guitar players. How hard is it to find people to see that guy? That's insane. I show up every day and play an invention that I patented and no one fucking knows about it. Anyway, so we are now doing what I do. I sell real estate. Yes, I invented the only drum in the world for guitar players, but that's a side thing. That's not how I make a living. I make a living selling and working with buyers who are buying homes. So my focus has to stay on that in 2024, although I'd love the BeatSeat to explode. It's the most amazing drum in the world. There's a cajon that sells millions of cajons every year. It's shit. Sorry, it's terrible. One panel. You got one panel and one snare. It has 2 tones. I got a drum with 5 playable panels, 2 snares, unlimited tones, and you could sit completely upright while you play it. There's no other drum on earth that does that. That's why I got the patent for it. But you can't know about something if they never let you see the guy who invented it. So I should be in China. It's crazy. I should be in China. China's TikTok, all the social media platforms, they gravitate people towards innovation. They look for inventors and they say, look, we want all of our people watching innovators. We want them seeing entrepreneurs. We don't want them seeing all the negativity in the world. But social media in the United States is about negativity only. They won't share positivity. They don't want to lift people up. They want to keep you distracted and disoriented. So I have WhatsApp. I do have WhatsApp, Salmon. It's through Facebook, I believe, but I don't use WhatsApp as much as I should. Only my foreign clients, if I have Chinese buyers or sellers, they all deal with WhatsApp. Anybody basically who's out of the United States likes to use WhatsApp. So I do have that. So if you guys want to reach out to me, I think you just have to look me up. I'm not sure how WhatsApp works. But we do have a Google Voice number now, so you can call the show live and you can ask any questions. You can throw a topic out there. You can ask me to write a song, whatever. But more importantly, it's just an opportunity for us to talk more. Usually you're hearing me talk, but if there is something you want to get off your chest and you want to hear how I feel about it, something that I've always been really, really kind of grounded to is sharing in the moment what's really needed to be heard. And sometimes people will say something and then these words come out. They're very powerful words. And I give the creator all of the credit for the words because I don't have a script here. I'm only responding to everything in real time.
Love life or Laura the Beautiful Pires.
There you go. Hold on, guys. I have to put this on. Give me a minute. Sorry about that. Salmon, how are you, my friend? He says he wants to chat with me. Love to have a conversation with you, buddy. So the phone number is 203-903-2255 if somebody does want to have a conversation and talk out any issues or any questions about anything. You could also ask me about my 1775 Bible if you like. Whatever it is, I am down, my friends. Let me bring Clapper back in. I had to kick them out because I got a phone call from my wife, and you know how that is. You want to make sure you don't miss anything important. Can I knock in your Instagram? Yeah, my Instagram is Mark Pires Inspires. Unfortunately, somebody stole Mark Inspires before I can get to it. But that's it. I'm going back into Clapper real quick so they can join us. Come on. Oh, gosh almighty. Is that working? Yeah, there we go. All right. Bringing everybody back in. So, guys, I wrote this early on in the show, like 200 days into the show. Listen to that. Woo! All right, so let me get into the news stories of the day for you. I want to make sure we're all on the same page, fam and friends. First story. There we go. You see how we're working with it? Yeah. So, here we go. Which story did I pull up? How's inflation affecting home prices? This is a big question. Let's see what we have here. I'm going to pull up this news story. We're going to read it together, and you guys can see what is going on in the real world. Here we go. Here's how inflation is affecting home prices. What buyers and sellers need to know right now. Inflation is a red-hot topic right now, and for good reason. In October 2023, the annual inflation rate rose to an alarming 6.2%. That's the highest it's hit since November 1990, over 30 years ago, and a steep uptick from a manageable 2% that we've enjoyed for the past 5 years. This is freaking 3 years old, guys. Look at the date on this stupid article. December 2nd, 2021? What are we talking about? You can't get me an inflation? Inflation. I'm not reading this stupid story. This is 3 years old. Inflation, home prices, 2024. Gosh almighty. What a freaking ridiculous thing they give me here. Come on. We got to find something here. All right, we're going to try this. Let's try this. There are 4 shakeups that are coming for the U.S. housing market in 2024. Let's see what that is, because obviously this idea of reading this story. Guys, do you see this date? December 2nd, 2021. What are we talking about over here? You can't give me a 2021 story. Let's see if we can get this one to play. Hello. Ah, there we go. All right, there we go. So, there are 4 shakeups coming for the U.S. housing market in 2024. I can't get anybody in Clapper now. Like, what the freaking heck? It's literally, I went on and nobody showed up. I had a bunch of people on and I had to quit because I thought there was a phone call that needed to be had. Let's see. I'm just going to pop this on quickly so we can make sure we get everybody back in, hopefully. All right, so let's see what these 4 shakeups are. Of course, this is all real time, guys. I don't know. And let's see, is this recent? A couple weeks ago. That'll work. The housing market could be headed for better days as there are major shakeups taking place next year, according to Redfin's chief economist, gosh almighty, Daryl Fairweather. Those changes could finally make changes. We're going to try this whole thing again. Those changes could finally make conditions better for homeowners who have been slammed for the past year by affordability challenges, the top housing economist said on a note Tuesday. High mortgage rates have deterred buyers and sellers from entering the housing market, but markets have dialed back expectations for interest rates. We're starting to see a shift towards buyer's market, and pandemic-driven inflation takes its last gasps. Mortgage rates came down, and more people list their homes for sale. Now, okay, let's just dig in on that real quick. We're starting to see a shift towards a buyer's market as the pandemic-driven inflation takes its last gasps. Now, okay, there's a couple factors here we have to discuss. We are shifting away from the pandemic market, which was totally insane, let's be honest. People just flocked out of the cities to whatever they could find, to the point they bought up all the real estate. Now we're dealing with shortages across the country, I believe. I haven't looked at every market. I just know where I am in Connecticut. We are dealing with a very limited supply. So because of that, it's supply and demand. Everything in life is supply and demand. Until we have more supply, demand will still be insane. It's still going to act like a pandemic market, even though it's not a pandemic market. And I don't know if people really think about it that way, but you can't switch a market out. Look at my freaking hair. I should have done something with it this morning. You can't do anything in a market until there's enough inventory to shift the mentality, I guess you would say. And right now the mentality is I can get more than asking price. And when you don't have any other competition, you're not wrong, really. It's just you have to wait a little longer. During the pandemic, you'd sell a house before it hit the market. I had clients having me call other agents, say, when you have something, let me know. I got a buyer in the 1.5 range, and they're looking for something. We're cash. Everybody's cash. In fact, one of the stories I'm going to share with you is about New York City having the highest per sale rate of cash buyers. It's like 67% of the buyers over the last year or two have been all cash buyers. And that just goes to show how much these people padded their pockets during the pandemic, prior to the pandemic, when the stock market was hot. You know, it's I heard about this, the amount of wealth that was built and it just like siphoned off over the last couple of years. You heard people talking about it. The amount of wealth that's being siphoned off by the richest people in the world right now. And we look at what's happening here years later, and the markets have tumbled. We have interest rates that are really high. Yeah, they've come down, but they're still high compared to what we've seen over the last 5 years. Not compared to what we saw 20 years ago, I know, 25 years ago, but from what the buyer has considered their expectation, we are way off, you know? And I talked to a client yesterday, actually, I sold a house to a few years back. I was just wishing him a happy new year. And we were discussing this. He's like, look, I love my house, but, you know, I have a lot of friends that are just renovating. I said, yeah, that's what's happening right now. You have people who locked in at these really low interest rates. And they said to themselves, you know what? I'm here at 3. I'm here at 2.75. The rate's now 7. I'm going to hang back. You can't afford the same house you afforded any longer. And this client was saying, you know, I don't know what my house is worth now, but let's call it $3 million. Let's just call it that. Maybe it's not. But even if it's worth $3 million, I could never sell it right now, because then when I go and buy whatever the next house is, I'd only be able to afford $2.2 million. It's like the amount of loss you get from this interest rate hike. It's unfathomable for people who are very comfortable in whatever they have. So they sit back, they wait until the rates come back to something that they could say, you know what, it's not as much of a jump as it is right now. So what are we looking at in 2024? What kind of inventory are we going to see? Are we seeing those people who are just like, oh, I want to sell, I want to move around, I want to go inside to side buy? No one's side buying in 2024. People are staying where they are. They're going to renovate. And if they have to get out, job change, you know, or they're thinking about a new state, a new city, that's when they're going to sell. You have someone who just got a job here and they're moving across country. Yeah, you're going to have buyers. But we're going to see a drop off this year. Probably still enough demand. I mean, people always need to buy. People always need to sell, but it's just not a lot. It's going to be a very, very limited supply all year long, and that scares me. We have to hope. This is what we have to hope. Okay, guys? The amount of baby boomers in the world today that bought their homes at 30 grand or 40 grand back in the 60s or 70s, those are the people that you have to hope list and sell their homes, because they're making a killing no matter what. Anybody who bought in the last 7 to 10 years, they're staying. They're not going anywhere. Not for the foreseeable future. So keep that in mind. This is why we're going to continue to see a stagnant market. This is why we'll continue to see high home prices and limited buyer pool. This is the thing that's most frustrating to buyers. They were all looking, and let's just use a number again. They're looking up to $1 million, okay? I could buy a house up to $1 million. And as they watch that interest and the inflation all start to tick up, they're seeing their buying power just get diminished. And we went from what was an extremely appetizing buying power to such a defeating and negative feeling when you consider what you can get with your money now. Okay, wait a second. I could get $1 million for $1 million. Now I can only get 700,000. What are you getting from the market? You just lost half of the things you need in your next house. Let me give you guys a little side tip. This is something, if you are ever going to buy or sell real estate, you should sit down with your significant other and you lay out a list of 5. What I mean by that is the top 5 things that you need to do to sell, what are important to you. This is more of a buyer lesson, really. You sit down with your spouse, your husband, your wife, your partner, whatever, and you lay out your top 5 absolutes you need in the next house and the top 5 things that are there's no way we're buying a house that has these things. And then from there, you're able to compare your list and you wipe away like 60% of the marketplace. It's such a frustrating thing. This is the thing I try to explain to people. You can't force people to buy anything. People buy what they want to buy, but it's easier when you're dealing with one person. When you're dealing with a couple, you have 2 different wants, 2 different interests, 2 different negatives that you have to somehow navigate. So it's important for you to coach your clients. Sit down over coffee, over a glass of wine, write down your top 5 absolutes in the next house, and your top 5s, there's no way I'm having this in my next house. And then from there, you're able to really determine, where are you going? Oh, I wanted a ½ acre. My husband wants 4 acres. Okay, well, what's the compromise there? Maybe we get a 2-acre home. Maybe we get a 1-acre home. You know, I need 3,000 square feet. My wife only wants 1,000 square feet. But you're sitting down, you're understanding where you guys are, where you're coming at this decision, because it's a team effort. This is why I always say you want to hire the right real estate agent, because it's a team effort. You have to get along with the agent you work with. Someone who can make you feel comfortable, but also provide you with valuable information when you need it, and can also maybe make you smile or laugh whenever necessary, inspire you. That's what I do. So if you are looking to buy or sell real estate, make sure you think of me. I can help you in New York, Connecticut, or anywhere in the country. Guys, this is a call-in show. Where are the freaking calls? I am on Clapper, so if the call comes in, it's going to be a little weird. I don't know how that will work, but if you guys want to call, it's 203-903-CALL. Yeah, I got that one. So let's move into this story. Let's keep moving. Home sales will pick up. This is a forecast from Redfin. Whatever. Activity has stalled for much of the past year under high mortgage rates, but that should improve as rates continue to trend lower, with an average 30-year fixed rate falling to around 6.6% by the end of 2024. How do we know? First of all, that's still... Get all those people who got in at 3, got in at 3.5. So you're talking double the rate, and then you have to go and you have to side buy. No one's side buying. It's only, I'm buying a house twice the size. You know, I'm in 1,000 square feet, but I need more room. I'll take the hit and buy the bigger house. I need it for my family. You only have needy buyers in 2024, not just like speculation buyers. None. They're just like, unless they're cash, which cash is still king always. Home sales are set to increase by 5% to 4.3 million in 2024, while home prices will fall by 1% after rising 3% in 2023. Home prices will still be out of reach for many Americans, but any break in the affordability crisis is a welcome development nonetheless, Fairweather said. Guys, these are news stories I'm reading live on YouTube. If you want to head over, you can see the story while I read it on green screen. You see the green screen. Go see what the green screen's actually broadcasting on YouTube. Mark inspires. I hope you guys will join me every day. I'm here to lift you up and amplify you into your workday. If you're in the car and you're driving into work right now, if you're on the train and you got your AirPods on and you're traveling in, this is the show for you. We'll hit you with all the information you need on the real estate market, on being positive, on being inspired. I write songs in the moment, create comedy in the moment. This is the ultimate positivity and distraction show from the negative world. So join us on YouTube. For the first time in Redfin's 20-year history, our agents reported widespread discounting among our competitors in 2023. If not in the fee publicly offered to buyers agents, then in commission refunds or private listing agreements. Renting will become more popular in 2024. Demand for rentals is expected to increase, partly because young Americans are losing hope of ever owning a home. When you make it unaffordable for people to even buy, then they're forced to rent and they're wasting their money renting. But what other options do they have? You know, this kind of reminds me of a certain person at some weird 3-letter symposium who said by the year 2030, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Doesn't seem, I don't know how you get to the happy part from owning nothing, but I guess when you rule the world, you just assume everybody's happy. They're happy that I'm ruling the world. I don't even know how he sounds. Anyway, while prices are large rental units will climb over the next year, supply falls short of demand, and there will be a downward price pressure for smaller units due to a big backlog. Boomerang migration. Redfin sees a wave of boomerang migration as workers who left expensive cities for more affordable places return to where they came from. Americans are also likely to move away from coastal areas to escape climate disaster risks that could lead to home prices falling in places like Florida while rising in more climate-resilient inland cities. In addition, Americans priced out of the housing market could even end up moving back into their boomer generation parents. That's what I say. You know, look, take the kids back in. We're dealing with a very interesting time in history. The pressure from above is so thick and so powerful. And again, what I have, my big takeaway from this inflation crisis that we're dealing with is I get it. It's a very, very difficult time to afford things. But why do the companies that are already making record profits have to raise their prices as well just because the economy's recognizing inflation? They already hit us with all the taxes. The only reason we pay what we pay for products is because they bake in all the taxes from the government. So we're paying $6 for a stupid Starbucks drink, and it probably would be $3 if they didn't hit them with every single tax prior to us getting the cup of coffee. And then they tax us on top of it. Man, I want to get a tax expert on here. I want to get Mark Pires, the tax expert, on here. If you guys don't know, there's another Mark Pires, and he's an awesome dude. I met him years ago, and he's a tax expert. He helps people build wealth through purchasing gold and all these other things. So one of these days we're going to get him on. Will, how are you, my friend? Good to see you, buddy. Goodness, who's here with me on YouTube? Let me just quickly check. I got Salman here, and we've got Will and Modoc kicking it with me. Over on Clapper, Juan Chavez, how are you, my friend? Danny Valles? I'm not sure. Vales. Danny Vales in the house. I'm going to say Vales. I got Yvonne Barbosa, Jonathan Spencer, and Gail Finney. How you guys doing? Thanks so much for being here with me. This is the longest running daily variety show on the planet, 1,828 days daily. That's insane. I appreciate it if you head to YouTube so you don't miss the daily show going forward. Let's move on to the next news story. Let me see what we have here. Oh, that didn't work out the way I was hoping. Let's see if I can figure this out. Oh, wait, maybe I could do it this way. There we go. That works. So, this one is interesting as well. Yesterday, I laid out for you the 10 states you want to move from in 2024. Yeah, Salman. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's what's going on here with my camera? What happened there? That is quite frustrating when you've been live for 1,828 days in a row and they don't share your feed on YouTube ever, you know. But I digress. Here we go. Oh, goodness. Next story of the day. This was just interesting because... Well, where the heck is it now? Let me pull it up from the show. Yesterday we did states you want to move from. Today we're going to do states you want to buy in the next year, that you can potentially make some money in the next 10 years. All right, here we go. I'm a real estate agent to buy real estate in these 10 cities to be rich in 10 years. What do we got? If you're looking to buy an investment property that will pay off in a relatively short term, choosing which city to buy is the key. There are some cities where home values are poised to skyrocket over the next decade, so buying property now will pay off big time when you're ready to sell. Go Banking Rates spoke with Jeff Tricoli, Spicoli's cousin, broker associate with Keller Williams Tricoli team. Spicoli, right? Mitchell G. David, real estate agent and founder of the Beach Life Premier Team. Fant Samak, is that a name? Joanne, is that a name? Fant Samak, realtor with Coldwell Banker Kane, and Sean McDonald, realtor with Berkshire Hathaway, same firm that I'm with, to get their picks for the best cities to buy real estate in if you want to be rich in 10 years. Boise, Idaho. I know you're like, they just have potatoes. Let's find out what Boise's got in hand. Tricoli of the Tricoli team believes buying in Boise now will pay off in a decade. With a home appreciation of 218% and yearly growth of 12% on average over the next 10 years, Boise shows the potential to be one of the best places to buy property. I'd move to Idaho. Get the out of here. You know what I mean? I'm in Connecticut. This is where people come to die. And then they take all of your money when you die. And they give it back to the illegal immigration and whatever the hell else they give everything away from to. Like, where's our money? This is the thing that baffled me most about our world. So if you have a great year, they steal all your money. If you have a bad year, they don't give it back to you. Like, here you go. You had a bad year. Go out so you're good. No, they took all my money. And now I'm like back to square one. Like, what the... How do you... Think about like my best years in real estate, how much money the government took out of my pocket. And I'm like, you did shit. You did absolutely nothing for my money. And like, I've seen so many different people go and fight the IRS and say, you can't come after my labor. It's unconstitutional. And there's people who say there's nothing in the tax law that says we have to pay our taxes. It's voluntary. However, they'll throw you in jail if you don't. It's not much of a voluntary system if you ask me. But you didn't do shit for it. And I earned my tail off. I worked my butt off. And then you come and take 30 or whatever the hell percent it is away to give to Ukraine? What a bunch of horse shit. I'm sorry. I was supposed to be a positivity real estate show. Yeah, sorry. My hair's a little whacked out today. I didn't get a chance to do anything with it. I just woke up and went live, Dropped my daughter off at school. And I wanted to be on at like 6:30. I don't think that's going to be feasible, guys, for me to get on at 6:30 in the morning. Like I thought I could do it. I'm like, guys, I'll go do it. And that's early, guys. So I'm thinking if I can, 8-ish, 8:30 would be great. Get on for an hour, do a couple of news stories, bring you into the day with some positivity, and inspire you to something great before you go out there. This show was live for 5 years in a row every day, but at night. I'm amplifying right before they go to sleep. It's kind of mental, So now we're doing it morning. And then in the afternoon, if I can get on, we're doing a second show of just live creation. My invention, the BeatSeat. My guitar, we're writing songs. Last night I wrote this. Before I come back down. Listen to this. This is fire. Written live in the moment last night. I want to touch the stars. Oh, yeah. I want to touch the stars. Before I come back down. Guys. You hear that beat? I want to touch the stars. The only drum in the world for guitar players. That sounds like a drum kit Tell me that doesn't sound like a drum kit. It's a drum kit in a box. One box. Nothing else but a box. You sit on it. You kick it while you play your guitar. It sounds like a drum kit. BeatSeat.rocks, guys. Order yours. I build them. Hand build them. Each one. So you can check out the different models at BeatSeat.rocks. I get back to the story now. Tricoli, Spicoli. All right. Factors that make this a great choice for investment in Boise, of course, we're talking about, guys. It includes the potential home value growth of 2% or more in the next 2 years. Look, can I just say something here? They're basing all the 218% yearly growth. Yeah, Plan Demaroo. You had the Plan Demaroo. Of course you went up 218%. Everybody went up 218% because of the Plan Demaroo. You know? Oh, well, 218%. Last year. This year, negative 4,267%. They didn't get into that part yet. Here we go. The 5 cities become popular baby boomers. That's for tomorrow's show. Fort Wayne, Indiana. You guys didn't know I was going to Fort Wayne with it. That's what the next city on the list. These are cities, states you want to move to 2024 if you want to make bucks in the next 10. Yeah, the hair's a little whacked out today, guys. What are we going to do about it? You know, I don't even have a hat to throw on. So here we go. Fort Wayne, Indiana is another top choice for property buyers planning to sell in 10 years, Tricoli said. With a median listing price of $199,947, that's 102% less than the national median. That's pretty solid. You're looking at about, I'm not a mathematician, but that's 399,894. Just nailed it. I did it live in my head. I don't need a calculator, guys. 199,947 times 2. Do the math. 399,894. Anyway, here we go. Fort Wayne's population grew by 0.67% last year, indicating the potential for demand. Home appreciation stands at 15% with a solid home price index of 437.04. I don't even know what that means, but despite the current market climate, the median property tax remains reasonable at $1,153. I do have to say, being in the Northeast specifically, the taxes here are so nuts, guys. Like the amount of money they take, again, government, but then the state, it's like, what the hell am I doing in Connecticut? You know, I'm putting this out to all of my Connecticut people, all my New York people. Get the hell out. Give me a call. We'll list your house. Right now, you could still get bucks. You know, you can get out and go buy in Fort Wayne, Indiana, Boise, Idaho in it. You know, you get out there and you're in Idaho. You start walking around, you're like, Idaho? And like, I'll do it. You know, how much? No, not like that. I'm saying I'm in Idaho. Oh, I thought you were saying that Idaho. You know, and there are people out there looking for hoes. I'm just saying, you know, you got to be aware of the guy walking the street. He's looking around. He's trying to find a hoe, you know. And then you hear someone walking into Idaho and like, oh, yeah, how much? No good. No good. Here we go, guys. Next one, Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas? It's a bit of a, cesspool there. But apparently there's money to be made. If you're planning to sell property in the next 10 years, Las Vegas should be high on your list of considerations, Tricoli said. The city's history of booms and recovery, along with its thriving real estate market, make it an attractive investment destination. Las Vegas offers a strong job market, high rental demand, affordable housing options, a growing population, significant infrastructure investment, and a flourishing tourism industry and favorable tax benefits. Those sound like pretty good things to me. The median home price is 6.3% year over year, which is a promising trend, Tricoli said. It's also a good place to buy if you plan to gamble all the time and lose all your money. This guy's he's on the take. You know he's on the take with the Las Vegas casinos, right? Vegas's diverse economy, driven by sectors like health, technology, and entertainment, contribute to its stability and growth. As our top tourist destination, it provides a reliable source of rental income. Okay, we're moving on. Seattle, Washington, guys. Who out there's in Seattle, Washington right now? Who's out there doing it in Seattle? They're talking about you. David of Beach Life Premier Team picked Seattle as the best place to buy now. The metro area can be a convincing choice for real estate investors looking to sell in 10 years. With a booming tech landscape anchored by companies like Amazon and Microsoft, the city has experienced substantial population growth and economic prosperity. Housing prices have doubled in the past 5 years, growing twice as fast as the national average since 2016. The median listing price is currently $794,100. That's pretty high, guys. Seattle's expensive. Let's see what else. Seattle offers a reliable, profitable investment opportunity due to its strong real estate market and thriving tech industry. Invest in Seattle for long-term success in the ever-growing tech hub. Next on the list of cities you may want to consider buying in if you want to make money over the next 10 years. Denver, Colorado. David also recommends buying in Denver if you plan to sell in 10. This metro area has witnessed a substantial surge in population over recent years, primarily driven by the expanding job markets and its captivating natural landscape, making it an appealing destination for holiday weekends. As of January 2023, the median listing price in Denver stood at $565,000, indicating a year-over-year upward trend of 6.6%. Furthermore, the median listing price per square foot was reported at $355. That's actually... You can't get it that cheap in Connecticut, just saying. Apart from its strong economy and thriving job market, Denver continues to attract real estate agents, real estate buyers, due to its advantageous location and close proximity to major cities. So, yeah, that sounds like... I've never been to Colorado, guys, but I hear it's beautiful. And if you can make some money and be in a place that also makes you feel great, I'd probably, out of all the choices so far, I'd go with Denver, Colorado. Let's see what the last one on the list is. Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. Let's see what Carolina got on. You know what I'm saying? A growing job market makes Raleigh-Durham a smart place for real estate investors, David said. Known as the Research Triangle, this area is home to prestigious universities and research institutions. Raleigh-Durham offers a diverse economy, affordable housing, and a desirable climate, making it a potential long-term investment opportunity. The listing price in Durham as a median is $405,000 as of January 2023, trending up 1.5% year over year. There's also a hub for high-paying jobs in healthcare, technology, and pharmaceuticals. Duke University, IBM, and GlaxoSmithKline are also located in Raleigh-Durham. The city has a low unemployment rate and high median house income, creating a stable base of renters and home buyers. One more on the list, guys. I guess, this is top 10. Top 10. Austin, Texas. I've been to Austin. I played South by Southwest 15 years ago. Haven't been back. Would like to go play South by Southwest again, guys. Inventor of the only drum in the world for guitar players. 209 songs on iTunes and Spotify. If you know anybody down there at South by Southwest that wants to gig me in. I'll bring the BeatSeat. I'll bring all my pedals. We're writing songs live in the moment in Austin. Oh, what song are you playing off what album? None! We're writing them live! I'm writing you a song right now in the moment. What's your name? Cassandra? Cassandra came to the show tonight. Right? We're doing it, you know? When people came to Austin to hear the Cassandra single, you know, talked about it for generations. Remember that time we went to Austin and we saw Mark in Pires and he was there writing that song about Cassandra? Right? You guys remember it. You saw that episode too. Austin, Texas. Austin is a young city, David said. Millennials will be the largest buying force with the... Wow. Millennials will be the largest buying force in Austin in 2023. We're not in 2023. We're in 2024. Clearly, that was just an error here. Moreover, Texas has no state income tax. That I like, right? We're just talking about the cutting our throat. Oh, we'll tax you here, we'll double tax on that one. And then taxing all of our food and taxing all of our goods. Oh, toilet paper's up 7,247%. Really? They didn't make a profit last year? No, they made more money. So wait a minute. Can I ask you a question? So let's just take random company number one. Random company number one made $4 billion before the pandemic. They made $9 billion during the pandemic. Like, that's okay? Oh, awesome. Dick Plume's in the house. He says that he flips homes dude, that's awesome. I'd actually love to chat with you. If you ever want to call into the show, I'm doing this on mornings now. I'm trying to talk to more people, real estate investors, anybody who can give some advice to anybody who's watching. I would like to talk to more people who flip homes. My father is a builder. He flips homes, and I'm a real estate agent. I help them in order to market these homes and then to create content for those homes, in the video side of things. But I did renovate and build homes with my father before I got into real estate in 2007. I just couldn't work with my brother, and that's I think a thing for people. Like I love my brother, but we can't work together. I'm the positive and I'm the yin, he's the yang. You know what I mean? And so he's still there. He works with my pop. My dad's in the hospital right now. As you guys know, we're trying to send some love to him. But in general, my brother is running the real estate business now. I'm sorry, the construction business. And we kind of are a really good team. My mother's an interior designer. It's like this really perfect team of, to go out and dominate if we could figure out how to do that. But with the construction, real estate, and with the interior design, we kind of have this nice little formula here. And especially the last couple of years, they were flipping a lot of homes when the market was calling for it. I would like to talk to someone like Dick about about the challenges we're going to see flipping homes in 2024. I think we're going to see lots of challenges because the profits are going to start to be lean, and everything costs more now to renovate. That's the other thing. Like, I think it's important to have these conversations with people that are flipping homes because they can explain to you that you can't just go buy a house that you like or a location you like and say, oh, I'll just renovate it because it will only cost X. It's like X times 2 still. I know that prices have come down on supplies, but they're still up. Sheetrock, plywood, all types of man-made materials that are fossil fuel materials are up. It wasn't too long ago we were energy independent as a country, like a few years ago, like literally. And Orange Man bad, guys, but that was very good for our country to be energy independent, to be focused on our soil, to be focused on our border, focused on protecting American citizens. That's massive. I got to say, I'm blown away that we live in a world now that wants to pretend that those things aren't as important as allowing anybody and everybody in while we have wars all over the world. Like, I'm blown away how stupid people are. Like, you trust? And I always love this. This is my favorite thing to say to these morons who are out there trying to have this weird, like, I don't even understand it. It's like this. I think we're living in a crazy world is really what it comes down to, because they're trying to get you to think it's okay that you don't have to know who's coming in. And I just simply say, okay, so then why have a fence around your house? Why lock your doors if you're going to just let anybody in? You're fine with it. You trust everybody. You don't want to know who's coming in. Then why put up the fence around your house? Why lock your doors at night if you trust? Can't trust the world to be on our side, especially when they all think differently than us. What makes America great is our thought process. Freedom is something that we have in our breath. And there are many factions around the world that want to extinguish that. They want us going back to the Stone Ages. And so I think we're at a crossroads here. And this is why I believe a show like mine that's been here for 1,828 days in a row and you just found it today, that should piss you off. It should piss you off that the host of the longest running show on earth just came across your feed today. You'd be like, what? Wait, you've been here every day since December 31st, 2018, long form, sometimes multiple shows a day, sometimes on for 4 or 6 hours at a time, and I never saw it once? Why? Why wouldn't they let me see Mark? What is Mark saying that's so controversial? When you speak from the heart in 2024, you become the enemy of the state. And that's why I'm trying to step back and do less of this and just talk to you guys about the markets, talk to you about being positive, because there is so much that we can go down that rabbit hole on and be negative about. And I don't want to be negative for you guys. I want to be the pure light show where when you come here, you're like, man, I felt good. I got something I got some information. I got lifted up a level, got a piece of music out of it. And I'm coming back tomorrow because I don't know what's going to happen. But I'll tell you, that's the focus. The focus is Shed the negativity of this world, and let's get to the moment together. I always talk about how that's the only thing that exists is the moment. Everything else in this world is intended to distract us from this very moment here. And I often think that's why they've never let anybody find me, is because my show is about the moment. It's where we can recenter and forget about everything else they're trying to lie to us about. And sometimes when you're in the middle of a song that's never been heard in the history of time, I didn't even hear it. I just created it. Before I come back down, ooh, I want to touch the stars. Guys, I want to touch the stars with you before I come back down to reality. Every day, we're here to touch the stars together. I'm going to keep showing up 5 years in a row every single day. And, you know, Salman said, like, it was like 3 people on when I'm doing this feed. He's like, made the crying. 3 people, like, yeah, live 5 years in a row every day, and YouTube shares me with 3 people. Over 13,000 subscribers. They don't even notify my subscribers when I'm live. They don't share anything I put out when I put it out to my subscribers. You have to seek the Mark Inspire show because they will keep it from you every day of your life. And guess what? I'll be live every day of your life. So it's really up to you whether or not you want to be inspired and you want to go to a show that's live every day. It doesn't even matter what I create. I told you guys, there's no bearing on what I create. Every day is going to be fire, but it doesn't matter what I create. It's about the chat. That's what they want to keep you from. They want to keep you from one location where you can go every single day and connect with people. And that's why this show has never been found. But I just don't know how to quit. You know, I keep showing up anyway. And I think I'm saying things that make sense. And maybe that's why nobody knows. I mean, I have a feeling if I was saying things that were wrong, they'd probably have millions of people watching me. But it's because I'm saying all the things that are actually going on. And my show's a time capsule, guys. You can go back. There's 1,828 days in a row. You can go push play on any day in my run, and you'd be like, dude, that came true. Everything he said came true. And that's why you don't know I exist. I did the Donald Trump show in 2019. It's a comedy. It's a parody. That's what it is. But it's hilarious. And it just so happened that I found everything bad that Joe Biden ever did in his life, and I commentated as Donald Trump. To me, that's the funniest thing you could ever see. It's a face swap movie where you see Biden blundering. What? My Aunt Judy told me that the kids like to run their hands up my leg. I love it when kids sit on my lap. He says that, right? And then it goes back to Trump. You see him at his podium. He goes, "Are you kidding me? Sleeps over Joe. He's there with his triple diaper. He's pooping in his triple diaper. Melania, don't go near the gold toilet, Melania. No." And so it's a comedy. It's a comedy movie. They put me in a hole because of a comedy movie. Saturday Night Live used to be appreciated. I created the funniest show on planet Earth called The Donald Trump Show. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. I made a movie out of it because YouTube, and it's there. You can go watch it. It's 4 hours long because it's 37 episodes of the Donald Trump Show and 4 episodes of the Joe Biden Show, which I created along the way as well. And it's the funniest thing you'll ever see in your life. Episode 16 is called The Gates of Evil. It's Dr. Evil, Bill Gates, Dr. Fauci, George Soros, Vladimir Putin, and did I say Bill Gates? I think I did. And they're all trying to take over the world together. It's insane. And it was done on April 9th, 2020, right after we shut down the government. About 15 days after we shut down the government, I came out with The Gates of Evil. The best line in the whole thing is hilarious. My Dr. Evil impression's pretty good. Well, you have to go and check me out in Dr. Evil, all right? I'm Dr. freaking Evil. You know, I just realized Dr. Evil also sounds like Jordan Peterson, you know? Look, I'm very intrigued by your mentality, you know? Like, we're all here, same time in history, you know? And you can't talk to me. Like, I can't get there fully, but sometimes the Jordan Peterson has the Dr. Evil vibe. I just realized that. And he's not. He's one of the most brilliant men on planet Earth. But he does. He has that it's Dr. Evil. Dr. Jordan Peterson. This is hilarious. Oh, man. Anyway, so the Dr. Evil episode is my favorite episode. But one of my favorite lines, it's in the first couple scenes. I used to call it a coup d'etat, like all these so funny names because I made them scene by scene. And then I made a 13-minute episode out of the whole thing. And it's episode 16 of the Donald Trump Show. And it's called The Gates of Evil. And you hear Bill Gates. And he's there. He's trying to take over the world with Dr. Weasel Fauci. Dr. Weasel Fauci, where are your 7,247 masks? Right? And then, of course, Dr. Evil, look, I'm taking over the world. You know, and they're there doing it. And then Trump is commentating in between. It's the funniest episode in the world. Dr. Evil and Bill Gates and Fauci are finishing up their phone call, and they go, all right, guys, just make sure we need to create fear so people think that they need it. 2 weeks after they shut down the government, I said, guys, we're talking about bugaboos. I call them bugaboos. The thing with a V, I call it a bugaboo. You got to get your bugaboo. And so they're saying, guys, we need to push bugaboos. We need to force people to think that they need it. And it wound up being exactly that. And like I said, everything I said came true. But that one, that's what put me into the deepest hole possible. 2 weeks after we shut down the government, I came out and said, guys, you got to get your bugaboo. Remember, we have to stoke as much fear as possible into the public so they believe that they need it. Oh. And then we had a year and a half of force. And you need it. Your grandma, grandpa, 9 shots, nothing helped. Like it's all over the place right now, you know? And I'm like, 1,828 days in a row of you. Don't tell me I need something. I got God. I got God. I got the spirit of the universe behind me. I got my 1775 Bible back there. That's protecting me. That was owned by a Revolutionary War soldier who fought next to George Washington for this country. And I'm here fighting for this country 260 years later. The host of the longest running variety and positivity and truth show on planet Earth owns the 1775 Bible that was owned by an American Revolutionary War soldier who fought for this freedom that we are trying to keep. You don't think that's a coincidence? You don't think it's a coincidence that there's one soul who's here every day of existence and he's got that behind him since I started the show? I put a little piece out earlier. I think it's hilarious. I'm seeing my content all over on TikTok, on YouTube. It's hilarious. The guy who owns the 1775 Bible created the piece of content about the 1775 Bible. They don't share that, but they'll share people sharing the content I created on the 1775 Bible. I'm like, holy shit. I just tuned into TikTok yesterday. I see my piece of content with like 50,000 likes. I'm like, wait a second. I'm the creator of the content. TikTok shows it 200 people, 300 people, but someone else posts me doing me 40,000 likes. I'm like, this is the proof of my suppression. When people see me, they're like, oh, like, but they'll never fucking share me when it's me doing me. It's only when someone else shares me. It's mental. I'm in the Twilight Zone. 1775 Bible. There's power in that. There's security in that. The power of God. Don't come up to me a couple hundred days into the show live every day and say, you need a bugaboo. You gotta protect grandma. Go yourself. You go protect your grandma. You know? My grandma was already gone. This last 5 years is about survival. Survival. Can you somehow shut yourself off from the unending machine of lies? And remember, guys, if they can get you to doubt the truth, that is the goal. They want you to say, I'm not sure if the sky is blue. I'm not sure if the sun is bright or if it's dark. Like, they want you to really question the truth. And man, we're going off the rails here. The value of everything has been doubled so we can bring down inflation. Yeah, exactly. DM got that. That's the whole point of that. So, guys, obviously, These are controversial things to say. Because anything truthful is controversial in 2024. They want you to mouth the insanity. And if you don't, you get punished. You are hidden. You are canceled. You are suppressed, whatever you want to call it. But if you ever are trying to find proof of suppression, you're ever trying to find proof that people are canceled, you found proof. I remember before I started the show, people would say things like, consistency matters. If you show up and you deliver quality content, you'll grow. There are 3,800 pieces of quality content on YouTube, live for 1,828 days in a row. 209 original songs created live in the moment right here on this show on a drum that I invented and patented. I'm an inventor. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an innovator for music history. And no one knows about me. And I say that tongue in cheek. The people that are here every day, they have my heart. They have my heart. I speak to the world that goes through their daily negativity completely blind to the world around them, completely just deaf to this show. They don't even know it exists. And maybe they do or they don't, but whatever. They haven't had a chance to see it in their feed. And I don't think my show's for everybody. I know it's not. There are people who are like, I don't like positivity or I don't like truth. I just want to be dumbed down by something else. That's fine. But there are people out there that can gravitate towards truth and positivity. That's who I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who want to hang out in a chat every day. Just be in the chat. I remember somewhere along the line, I met a guy who was selling a house. He goes, wait, you're live every day? I go, yeah, since December 31st, 2018. I think it was about a year and a half in, 2 years into the show. And he goes, wait, that's really cool. He said, because I listen to this one show. I love this show, but they're only live Monday through Friday. He's like, I'm traveling a lot on Saturdays and Sundays, and they only have replays, and I hate that. I hate that they don't have a show on Saturday or Sunday. It's like, that's interesting. And I was like, and I don't know what happened. I should try to reach out to this guy, but this is the one show that's live every day of the year. Christmas, Easter, New Year's, my birthday, my kids' birthdays, my wife's birthday, I'm live. I do at least an hour. So if you're interested in joining something that's real, something that's taking place on a daily basis, live in the moment, no script, wherever we go is where we go. And that's all I can say is you're going to get from me is the truth. You're going to get a lot of passion and a lot of fire. So Austin, Texas, that was our last one. Our Charlotte, North Carolina, Phoenix, Arizona, and Nashua, New Hampshire. Those are our 10 cities you want to try to consider buying if you're looking to make some cashish in the next 10 years. So I think as far as it goes, those are some decent news stories for the day. One more thing. Housing market update. Declining mortgage rates lure sellers off the sidelines, paving the way for a 2024 buyer. I think that's a good, this is actually a pretty good article. Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. Just so we could talk about it. Because I think that this makes a lot of sense. The rates were really sidelining everybody. And I could prove that to you because, did that come through? No. I could prove that to you because what happened last year is telling. We had this situation where, the best way I could explain this is we had the craziest market in history, pandemic market, right? And then we took this 6 month or not even, it was about 4 months where the rates went crazy high. All right. So they went, let's call it 3.5 to 4.5 or something like that. Okay. But that was a huge jump for people. And when it got to June, I wish I could pull up this graphic and I did a whole story on this back then. When it got to June, let's call it 4.13%. Okay. August comes around. The rates went crazy through the end of spring, through summer, to the point where it's the first time we saw rates increase in about 7 years. They were going down over and over because of the pandemic. So the first time they jump into the summer, and people freak out. They absolutely freak out. It's over. The market's dead. We're not going to... And I'm thinking it too, actually. Let's be honest. I was like, guys, we got to get out. It's about to all implode because I saw what our president's doing. I'm like, this is insane. This is insane. We're going to have some major issues in real estate. So I was completely wrong. It's still coming, but I was wrong on the timing. So October of last year, I was like, it's done because I saw through the summer real estate died. However, the rate dropped, okay, in August. And when you look at it, the rate was exactly the same height as it was at that 4.13, like 6 months earlier when we were at our highest in sales. So even though rates had bumped up, people were still nuts buying homes way over asking price at 4.13%. You fast forward 6 months ahead, 4.13%, and people are snoozing. They're all sitting on the sidelines because they still hadn't heard rates had come down. They're still thinking, wow, rates are up, but you're paying the same amount as you did on April. Same exact price in April as you are now in August on rate. So it is consumer confidence. It's the agents, it's the talking news heads sharing what's really going on in the world because people lost out on opportunity for a few weeks there. Sellers, everybody lost out on opportunity for a few weeks. And my takeaway is this. If you're a real estate agent, do a better job of sharing where the rates are for your clients. If you're a mortgage broker, create more content for your clients so they know where the rates are. We don't know. I'm a real estate agent and I don't even know what the rates are. Sometimes I'm like, what are they, 6? Are they 6.25? Because I don't get a feed on a daily about the rates. I get feeds on new listings. I get feeds on expired listings. I get feeds on updated prices, lowering prices in the marketplace. I'm not looking at mortgage rates. That's for my clients. I don't go into the weeds. Do you know how much there is to look through when you're trying to understand a market for your clients? It's funny. I had someone come to me. They said, he doesn't know what the rates are. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't absolutely. You want to call a mortgage broker to make sure because they're the ones who sit there and look at the rates all day long. I'm the one who finds you the best house and gets you the best deal in that house. So I look at the market. I look at what houses have traded for, what they're going for, and if we can negotiate you the best deal possible. I don't get involved with the attorneys, and I don't get involved with the mortgage because I know where my lane is. I stay in my lane. I understand the general range of where the rates are at all times, but I can't tell you like, oh, right now it's 2:00. The rate is, but I know my mortgage brokers, that's all they do. They look at the rate all day long because they have to explain to their clients how much money it's going to cost them to own that house. Me, I got to find you the perfect house in a market where everyone's trying to find the perfect house. I got to find a way to be more creative to get you that house when 10 other people are offering on that house. So that's where my lane is. My lane is kill it and get you your property. Oh, wait, you got your property? I got a great mortgage broker for you. This dude sits there all day and looks at the rates. I got a great attorney for you. All this dude does is look at paperwork all day and fill out shit. That's your guy. This is your guy. I'm your guy to go out there and dominate and get you the best deal possible for that house. And that's very important too. People need to know, stay in your lane. Don't be the guy who's doing it all out there when there are other professionals who will take that weight and carry it for you. Especially ones who want to carry that weight. I've seen too many people trying to be super agent. Or here's the other one. A client wants to buy a house and they're doing X, Y, and Z, and it's the agent's trying to be super agent and trying to, let me see if I could do an even better deal. You don't destroy things when they're moving in the right direction. Just like with sellers and buyers, they all want to ask for things after things are settled. This is a very, very dangerous slope to be standing on top of, is when you got a deal lined up, everybody's on the same page, and then someone comes with a new request. Oh, well, do you think that maybe they'll take $5,000 less? What? We already negotiated price. You don't go backwards. That's why you take your time and you think about things before you determine where you're going to go. You don't make rash decisions, and you also do not pull back unless you're not going to buy that house. You'll destroy a deal if you start changing terms in the middle of a sale. People are very, very like antennas up on that type of stuff. Oh, this guy's going to be a pain in the neck. He's already changing the terms. We're 3 days into the deal, and he wants to change all the terms. I tell you, this is one of the biggest struggles in real estate when you're talking about transactions is the mental struggle from getting a deal accepted to the closing. You have so many people freaking out. The seller's like, wait, we're still waiting for inspections. We're waiting for mortgage contingency. And what happens if that falls through? And do they really love the house? And I love the house because I've been there for 45. There's so much mental wrestling going on with these people when they're trying to sell these properties. And so you have to be very careful when you're dealing with your clients, and you have to make sure you're providing them with valuable information. So, like I said, stay in your lane, figure out what you do best, and then be the best at that. To me, what do I do best? I could think of a lot of things, but in general, when I'm there and I'm with my clients, or I'm trying to sell for my clients, it's get into the moment with whoever I'm in front of and share the truth of what the matter is. I sell a lot of real estate myself. And then I sell a lot of other people's clients on real estate because they're sending them to open houses or whatever. Just give me a few minutes with them. I'm not forcing them to do anything, and I'm not convincing them to do anything. I'm just sharing what I love about what I'm selling. And people buy from people. You have to always remember that. I've seen so many slimy salesmen. There's a few people I could think of that, agents that I've worked with over the last 15 years. And I'm like, I don't want to work with that guy. But if he's got a client, I'll do a deal. I just got to keep my distance and make sure that there's nothing weird going on there, But you have to, in general, you have to realize you're working with some shady characters every once in a while. You're not dealing with like the captains of industry, There are some people that go from finance to real estate. I see a lot of it, actually, to be honest. But in general, you have people who get their real estate license because they see it on TV or whatever. Like, oh, it's easy. I'll go sell a house every once in a while. The average of homes sold in my area is very low because most people just carry a license and they don't even sell. So there's a small group of agents that go out there and they really do well because they focus on their business and they go out there and they build their business. And that's basically what my concept here is for this year, is to rebuild my business from scratch because I've sold all my properties last year. And now I got to get new listings to put on the market. The only way to do that is to remind people, this is what I do every day. I sell real estate every day. So when you have a house to sell, why don't we broadcast it live on the Mark Inspire show? I'll go there and I'll film an entire show from your house. And that's how we bring people in to this piece of real estate. That becomes potentially viral content. I've got 7 different platforms. I'll share. You never know what's going to take off, if anything will ever take off. But you never know. Point is, you have an agent willing to try things instead of saying, I'll give you whatever the company offers. Every agent just offers what the company offers, regurgitating what the company offers. And everybody runs their business differently. To me, I'm always trying to see if I can add value. However I can, I'm going to add value. So I appreciate you guys sticking here with me for the show. Another action-packed show on the Mark Inspires program. Oh, Will's in Pennsylvania. Where are you in Pennsylvania, buddy? Amy said her mom had a real estate license when she was a kid, and she was pretty good. I think it's one of the funny things that real estate is more about who you know, not about what you know. Because I see people who are decent or maybe not even very good with people, and they do very well in real estate. And it's because they have a lot of friends. A lot of friends. And that's really all it is. It's who has the most business. I've seen a few agents, they have so much business because they've been doing it for 30 plus years, and like the phone just rings. Oh, hey, we're selling again. You sold us your house 15 years ago. You know what I mean? And we're going to sell it again. And they go in there. They don't even have to fight for it. They don't even have to compete. I always say, I just want to get to the table. I don't want anybody giving me anything at all. I just want to get to the table, and I want to sit down and have a chance to win that listing. I want to share with you what I do different, how I'm going to differentiate your property from everything else in the marketplace and open it up to the deepest pool of qualified buyers. How? How do we do that? Give me 5 minutes. That's all I need. Let me sit across from you and let's have a conversation. And if that goes well, we're going to work together. I'm pretty certain of that. If it doesn't, it's because maybe you have a friend or something. But I think that's one of the very interesting things. My entire career, I've had a hard time connecting with like people I went to high school with, or, people that I knew throughout my life calling me for real estate. Like they'll all go buy stuff with our friends' parents. Like when I grew up in my town, all of our friends' mothers had their real estate license. These people own houses all over the world, super wealthy. And so you'd assume when these kids that I went to school with moved to Connecticut, they'd say, you know what? I don't want to give it to so-and-so's mom who's got 7 houses and she's retired. Let me give it to a guy who's got 3 kids. He busts his tail, wears a suit every day, and he's out there trying to make a living for his family. Let me feed that guy. But no, it's like I couldn't get any of my friends to use me. It's so weird. But I worked with a billionaire. I worked with a billionaire. How did I get that billionaire to work with me? Was it because I fooled him? Quite the contrary. It's because that guy said, I see something in you that I remember. He literally said that. I see something inside of you that I remember. And then he told me a couple beautiful stories about how he went from a guy selling insurance to being a billionaire. So, working with high net worth individuals for my entire career, but can't get people who I went to high school with to say, let Mark have that business. It's just interesting. I look at it like, I wonder what that's about. Let me go to Joan, who thinks like someone in the 1980s, by the way. Pre-internet, these people were dominating. And now after, she's got her house in Nantucket. She's got 4 houses. She said, let's give her more business. The lady who doesn't give a shit anymore. Oh, goodness, but that's what they do. It's a weird thing. And I remember I would post like crazy in 2013, when I got my license right at the beginning. I first started on Facebook. I would post like, guys, I'm a realtor. Let me know if you need moving back to the area. Let me help you. And then I'd see all these people. Yeah, we moved back. I'm like, who'd you work with? Oh, Jill's cousin, who's a realtor in town since 1937. Like, what are you kidding me, dude? I got 3 kids. I'm here working my tail off trying to find anything and everything so I can dominate for my family. You're giving it to these people who are retired, who have made a killing throughout their entire life? Like, I don't understand. And by the way, put me in a room with them, please. These people are like Stone Ages. We're going to put pictures up. Oh, you going to put pictures up on the World Wide Web? Oh. When I came out with the drone in 2013, I was the first realtor in the Northeast to buy a drone. In 2013. I was all over the news in 2013. I've got this, where's that big plaque? I got this huge plaque from the news because I did a story on me. And it says Mark Pires from Coldwell Banker at the time, the first realtor to purchase quadcopter technology. That's what they called it back at the time because you couldn't call it a drone. The FAA was after me. They were telling me that the FAA was going to fine me $15,000 for flying my drone. And I was like, come find me. Because I don't charge anything for my service. There are people you're saying you can't go and you can't do that because you're charging for service. Like, okay, I'm flying a drone, charging $400. Can't do that. The whole point of me getting the drone in the first place was hire me and I'll give you free drone photography. Part of the listing agreement. It's like, not just once. I'm going there and shooting it throughout the listing. Keep updating the photos. But like nobody else had thought of doing that. Providing more value to their client. Except I said, I'm going to just do it. Spending the amount of money I did, kind of crazy. But it was a stroke of, it was a bit of a stroke of genius on that part because, as you know, the drone became huge. And my wife even said to me, she goes, you're just telling everybody to buy a drone. And I said, yeah, I know. But you still have to have an eye. And that's the one thing that's still maintained 100% truth. You can't just buy a drone. You can, but you're going to get terrible shots. Because people don't know how to shoot them. They don't know what they're shooting. They have no idea how it works. They take pictures of roofs. You see a picture of a roof, it's some agent who bought a drone because he saw my work. He's like, oh, well, I could do that too. And there's one kid in my office. He's like, I'm going to buy a drone. You're not going to be the only one with a drone. I said, go ahead, dude. Go buy a drone. How's your artistic eye? That guy's photos were so bad. No offense, but he's not an artist. You have to be an artist to be able to shoot artistic work. And I said to him, because he was like, well, how do you do it? I said, buddy, before I even fly that drone off the surface of the earth, I already got 15 shots in my mind. Not really. I got like 4 or 5 angles I know I'm going to shoot. Like I've seen it. I walk up to that house. I'm like, okay, I'm going between those trees. I'm going about 13 feet off the air over here. I'm going to get this angle over there so I can catch that one view. And I see it already before I even fly it. So when I'm flying my drone, I could shoot in 13 seconds. Done. And I can go to the next house. Everybody else, they're flying around for an hour. Where's that? I'm trying to get one picture that looks good, and at that point, just hire a dude because you need to sell your property. You're not just selling a photo. You need to get those people to the second photo. That's why I did the drone in the first place. I did the drone in the first place because we saw data on Zillow that said people spend 1.4 seconds or something like this on the first photo. That's how long you get to capture the attention of a buyer, 1.4 seconds. And then I'm doing the math. I'm like, 1.4 seconds is the first photo. So if you didn't capture them on the first photo, you're done. So that's when I thought of the drone. I said, I'm going to buy this because if I can capture the expansiveness of the property in one photo and get them to say, well, geez, that looks interesting. Now I got them to 2 seconds. Now I'm in there in this whole new realm of possibility. So it was something that I saw that potential is getting people to spend more time on my listings so I could sell my properties for my clients. And then in turn, everybody bought a drone, as my wife said, because there are a lot of people with eyes that are able to provide great footage. So it would have happened anyway. I'm not like saying that, because I came up with it, everybody bought a drone. I just happened to be the first one to do it, because I saw the potential of it before anybody else. But that goes back to why you hire me instead of anybody else in Connecticut. I think that way. The box doesn't exist. It's an open field for you to work in. And when it came down to it, how do I provide a better service experience for my clients? You buy a drone. You go there and you shoot live video. You go there and you broadcast live from the house. And you host the longest running daily variety show on earth. That's how you do it. So my hope this year is to get a ton of listings, start doing lots of really cool daily live videos from my listings, Q&A, because we do have the ability to call me live. We could do all that stuff. I could bring my laptop and we can broadcast live from these listings. So if you are someone out there and you're like, you know what? That would be a pretty cool way for me to sell my house. I'd love content created about my house. Never thought about that before. I know they come and shoot photos of my house and they do drone photo of my house, but wait, someone will shoot a lifestyle video, like a hanging out and talking shit, walking around the house that's comedic as well? That's interesting. And what do you want? You want something that everyone else is doing, or you want something interesting? That's a no-brainer. You're not looking for something that just melds into the mix. You want something to pop up to the surface, pop off the page. That's the Mark Inspires experience. In real estate, this show, everything. This moment is powerful, guys. If you connect to it, you can make magic happen. At least I think so. Oh, goodness. Andrea said she's there. Hey, Andrea, how are you? She's near San Francisco. Police drones are common sight at night. Really? Jeez. I'll tell you what. It's turned into a very interesting world where you could have anything flying above your head at any time. And it could, we didn't get into it, but it could be aliens. I mean, right now we're dealing with lots of disclosure. And my plan, guys, like I said, I want to start interviewing a lot more people on this show. So if you have anybody who wants to get on the show or you think would be a good interview, send me their info. I'll reach out to them and see if we can set it up. 2 shows a day, live in the morning, and then in the afternoon. I hope to be live around 6 or somewhere around 6 o'clock to do a best of show and maybe write a song like we did last night. This is a piece of my music here as well. Every single day we write songs, so join us. The BeatSeat, the only drum in the world for guitar players, guys. BeatSeat.rocks. And remember, if you need to buy or sell real estate anywhere in the United States of America, I can help you, and it costs you $0 to get my assistance. $0. All I do is contact the local manager of the office at Berkshire Hathaway, and then I interview a few agents and find you somebody awesome. If you like them and use them, that person pays me a small referral fee, and that's awesome. But it costs you $0 more than if you hired Claude at the local real estate agent, as the local real estate agent. So let me know if you have any assistance needed, and I will make those phone calls and try to get you one more person to consider. And you may not like them. You just hire whoever you're going to hire anyway. cost is exactly the same. I don't mind doing that legwork. If I can somehow get a small referral, it's huge. Huge. That's actually what I'm trying to do more of in 2024 is build out my referral business. So clients who are in Albuquerque, clients who are out there in Colorado or anywhere else in the world will say, you know what, when I need to buy or need to sell, I'll call Mark. Let me see if he can help me out. Because it costs you nothing anyway. And also you can do a little bit more relaxing. Let a phone ring instead of you having to make the phone call. And so that's it. Said my piece. Appreciate you guys. Hope you go into your day and make something magical happen today. Remember, it's your attitude that changes everything else around you. It's the smile you possess that could change everything else around you. You could affect real change in this world. All it takes is you believing that you want to see a better world and smile at people more. That's desperately needed. So, Will, my friend, Andrea, Amy WC. Let me see who else may be kicking it with us over here on YouTube. Let me go onto the feed. And we're here at Clapper. My fam on Clapper. 4 sales with me. Dici. I got Eli Price. Mark Benavides. Good to see you. Is that Portuguese? Beatrice Cruz. And Dan Mulligan. Is there anybody else? And Cool JB. Good to see you guys. You guys rock. I really appreciate you being here with me. Oh, look at that. Brown Power Ranger was here with us earlier too. She's awesome. One of my favorite people on Clapper. She always supports me. I can't tell you how much it means when I see the same names that respond to my content. I do drop content all the time, every day. And when I see Andrea leave a message or S-Coop or over here at like Brown Power Rangers always responding and leaving me notes. And it means a lot because, especially when you're kind of in an echo chamber, no matter what you put out, they don't share. Like when people do see it and they say something, it means a lot to me because I don't have any sort of like rebound or any of this. I throw things against the wall and then I don't hear anything back. So it's like, okay, I threw that on that wall, that on that wall, and then I never heard anything back. I'm just still going, you know? So all these crazy things, the Ladies Man, Jurassic Mark, Stuck on Mars, Back to the Future Mark, Bat Mark versus Super Mark. I've created 9 feature films on my YouTube channel. 9 feature films. They're crazy. Improv comedy feature films. Hour and 30 minutes. Almost all of them are an hour and 30 minute full feature film movies that I created live on this show on green screen. No script, and I create a movie. They could be the worst movies in the world. It doesn't even matter. Created 9 movies in the moment. Over 1,000 songs have been created on this channel on YouTube. And we still can't get people to see that type of creativity on a drum that never existed until I existed. I invented and patented it. Can't get people to see that. I'm moving to China. Over there, we'll give a couple million people to watch the innovator of music. Music will be changed forever because of this drum right here. And mark my words, it may not happen in my lifetime. I may not even get credit for it. But in 50 years, everybody on planet Earth has a BeatSeat. Every musician in the world is playing a BeatSeat or has one at home. They travel with their BeatSeat. Every solo musician in the world has a BeatSeat. Every sensory therapy music therapist in the world has a BeatSeat. And I invented it. Patented it. And nobody gets to fucking see it. Craziness. I'm done, right? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Friggin' BeatSeat. But I will be back later because you can't keep a good man down. You know, you could try, YouTube. You could try. And you've been doing a good job of it, but I still keep showing up. So I guess go pound sand, YouTube, right? I still haven't released the song. It's called YouTube Blows. Probably one of the funniest songs I ever created. There's a rap in it about Mr. Beast as well, that he could take a crap and billions of people see it, you know? But I could write a song that never existed in the history of time and 4 people see it.
Oh, but it's better that Mr. Beast put out a video about pooping in a diaper.
Oh, 7 billion views, guys, in the first 13 seconds. The focus of what content they want to share with people is very interesting, but it's not what it should be. It's based on distraction and negativity and division. And some of these people got through before they went to this perspective, but the perspective is that it's like, at all costs, get these people to divide. And if there is a guy out there, or guys or women out there who are trying to bridge that gap and provide a safe space for people to connect on a daily basis, fuck them. Destroy them. Throw them in a hole. Cancel them. Burn them alive if you have to. Mark Pires cannot be found. Mark Inspires cannot be found or heard. It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous for our agenda. When people are making moves like they are, where 2 weeks ago, TikTok, I got right in the middle of my feed, they ripped me down for talking about the J6 thing. And all I stated was facts. I stated facts, and they ripped me down, and they said misinformation. And I said it. Oh my goodness, this is it. They intend to replace truth by silencing those who speak it. I know. But that's what they try to do here with all topics, not just that, but all topics that they don't want you to talk about. They will silence the truth on that topic by silencing people talking about that truth. You know, and that's scary, guys. That's very scary. We run into a very dangerous time in history when there's one group of people controlling the messaging and only one message can be heard. So, join the fight, guys. Join the fight. Because together, we can change a lot. We can't change the world, but we can change our world every day. Join me in the chat. Let's get the hell away from all these people. And let's at least talk about it for what it really is instead of pretending it's something that it's not. And that's what they keep trying to... Look, guys, this is a tree. This is a cat. This is a cat. And if you say that's not a cat, if you said that's a battery, you are a racist, xenophobe bigot because you weren't sensitive to their feelings. I only have one phobia. I have a fear of affirming falsehoods. Use that, guys. That's accurate. I'm pretty sure that's how everybody feels. I'm phobic of affirming falsehoods, of affirming lies. I gotta tell you, I saw this thing, it blew my mind. And again, I'm not trying to get myself in trouble or anything, but I saw this video of a guy who was live, and someone walked by and said something like, "Okay, sir," something like that. And he goes, "I'm not a sir." And he looked, and he's dressed as a woman. Makeup, lipstick. I'm sorry, guys. I have to now pretend that that's a girl? When I look at a guy wearing drag? That was drag 15 years ago. It's considered drag. Now it's, you're insensitive, you're a racist, you're phobic of... just phobic of lies, man. I'm just phobic of lies. I can't lie to myself. Sorry. I know you want me to. I know you want society to lie to themselves so then you could usher in this new world order where it's like nothing's true anymore and we now have all these falsehoods that have become truths. But that's not life. Thousands and millions of years, the truth always was one path. And I've said this multiple times now, but when people deviate from the path of truth, those who are smart and willing to understand the truth, bring them back to the truth. No, buddy, what? You're a tiger? No. Come back to the real world, okay? You could feel like a feline, I guess. You're feeling frisky. You want to feel frisky? You could do friskiness, you know? But, meow, 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 meow. No, I'm sorry. You're not doing a meow, 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 you know? And I don't know why that's such a controversial thing to say. Why is that controversial? It should be more controversial that you want to change truth. That should be a lot more controversial than someone saying, whoa, wait a minute. You're a tiger? This is a battery. Racist, xenophobe, bigot. Nope. Phobic of lies. Tell me that's not dead on, right? Tell me that's not dead on. That you have a fear of affirming things that are absolutely not true. And then you have to pretend they're true now and then go into a world where you're like, yep, this is not a battery anymore, guys. This is a tiger. You hear it? I have to make the noise, but still, you know what I mean? It's still a tiger. Bausch and Lomb came out and they said, tiger, tiger. If you deny that this is a tiger, we're going to cancel you. It's just the way it goes. You guys have to get in line. What's that? No, the truth used to be on the line as well, but not anymore. No. Now you got to get into a different line. It goes in the backwards. It goes backwards in time. Stupid people are there. Oh, goodness. You know what I think is interesting? There's this chasm between the people who are, I see people that are sane and the people that are completely off their rocker. And it used to be that we were a lot closer on our issues. And now they've taken these couple of completely ridiculous issues and they've made them the focus. When they're not the focus, they are the distraction from the focus. When it comes down to it, we are seeing the destruction of humanity. It's taking place right now. It starts with the destruction of society by getting people to believe things that aren't true and affirm falsehoods. It starts there, guys. As soon as you start affirming that things are what they aren't, then the big game starts, which is they literally systematically shut us down. And the people who say, guys, look what they're doing over here, they've already proven they can shut everybody down that they want to shut down. The group gets smaller and smaller the more quiet you stay. So you have this very, very limited window, I would say, to stand up and say, no, I'm done with this. I'm done with your insanity. And I have to affirm truth. That's all I can do. And by the way, no offense. No offense. I want you to be you. I want you to enjoy every moment of life. If you think you're a cat, you think you're a tiger, that is awesome. You go be that tiger. You go be that cat. Just don't come up to me. Don't come up to my kids. Don't come up to my wife. Don't come up to everybody in society and say, this is now a cat. You have to also agree that this is a cat.
Because I feel like I'm a cat.
No, just be the cat, dude. Go be the feline. Go there and eat up that cat food. Meow, 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 meow. Go do it. All right? We're fine with you doing it. We're not changing society because of 3 people. Majority rules. And for the most part, most people are normal. And you see a dog, it's a dog. You see a human, it's a human. You don't see a human pretending they're a dog or a human pretending they're a cat. That's insanity 2024. That's, oh, don't tell Thomas that he's not a cat. What the fuck? Tell Thomas he's a human being now before you destroy this child.
You know, Thomas, I saw you're playing with that doll.
So? Let Thomas play with the freaking doll. Right? He likes dolls. Maybe he'll create dolls like Batman dolls later. Right now it's Batgirl dolls. Who cares? But leave sexuality out of a kid's mind. They're not thinking that way. They're thinking about playing with a fucking doll. I've seen too many of those. I had someone who was saying, you know, I wanted to be like my brother so much when I was a kid. I looked up to my brother. I loved my brother. So when my brother was playing with army dolls, I wanted to play with the army dolls too. It wasn't long before someone came along and said, you know, I think you're probably a boy, you know, because you're playing with all these boy toys. This girl went and she changed her gender, went through this like 15-year process, and only to learn she was confused by the people that she thought loved her. They forced her in a direction of insanity, only for her to come back to reality at some point in the future and say, what the? And she's beautiful, beautiful girl. But she didn't have that person who said, wait a second. I think you may be playing with these dolls because do you look up to your brother? Oh, you have an older brother? Oh, never would have thought you'd look up to your older brother. Everybody looks up to their older brother. My daughters look up to my son. He's the oldest. The youngest always wants to be around my son. She wants to play with my son. Oh, can we play? Can we play? And I did too. I remember I'm the youngest. I remember my brothers, I always looked up to my brothers. They're older than me. They experienced something before me. So I always thought, well, I probably got to be like that guy. My brother Michael was a football player. He was a quarterback. I remember as a kid thinking, I'm going to be a quarterback one day like my brother. I was a pitcher. I didn't go into football. I was a pitcher. But he inspired me to use my arm in a different fashion. My brother did. If I had an older sister, I had two brothers. If I had an older sister who played with Barbie dolls, and I'm in 2024, and I see the Barbie doll, and I saw that my sister played. I love my sister. I look up to my sister. And now I'm playing with those dolls because I love my sister, and she plays with those dolls, and I want to be like my sister. She's cool. That doesn't give you the right to say, well, maybe there's more to that. It's just stupid. And where are the mental health professionals out there that are allowing this to take place instead of saying, no, wait a second. We're going through a whole list of questions here to determine exactly what's going on here, not just give you whatever. Here, go take these blockers and go do this, do that. And like I said, guys, don't take this as Mark's are I'm phobic of lies, phobic of falsehoods. I want you to be you, whatever the heck that is. You could be the happiest version of you. You could be a tiger. You could be a cacti. You can be whatever the hell you want. Just don't try to change society's perspective on what truth is to meet your warped perspective of what truth is. You're okay to think and feel however you want. There's always been a fringe group of people that have thought stuff that's a little out there, but we didn't change society to meet their insanity. That doesn't work for anybody. You stick with the status quo, you stick with the majority, and then all the other stuff falls to the wayside. But we allow those people on the wayside to do whatever the hell they want. Freedom. Liberty. You have the liberty and the freedom to do whatever you want. Be with whoever you want. And I want you to. I want you to find your smile. But don't destroy my smile in the process. Don't destroy the smile of every American, every person on planet Earth who says, for the history of time, this was truth. And now,
This is truth.
that doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. And that's why when you hear people out there that are saying things about this, their approach is different than me. They go after the, let's call it the group of trans or whatever you want. They go after these people in a negative way, and they're ripping on them and saying you're mentally challenged. There's assistance needed. You need to speak to somebody because it's not what you think it is. There may be a few people that are like, absolutely 1000%, I'm this. I wasn't born, whatever. That's fine. You could still do that. You could still be that. No one's questioning that at all. You have the ability to be whatever you want in life. Just don't take up that sword and armor and say, now you have to do it. Because that doesn't work for people who are living a normal life. And by normal life, I mean homogenous, family-centric, we have a husband and a wife and children in a house because let's be honest, you guys could say whatever you want. And again, I'm kind of doing a little bit, this isn't the Christian thing to say. Because I'm telling you to do whatever you want. I'm telling you to be happy and be you, but I'm also allowing you to end your bloodline. And I have a problem with that too. So I do want to say this. I want you to explore. You are confused. Everybody is until they're a certain age in life. Nobody knows who they are until they know who they are. But you cannot get another chance, first of all. If you make changes to your body or to yourself because of some public interest, going backwards is very difficult. But more importantly, you are the last. You are the last of your bloodline. Now, you may have family members out there who are out there procreating. You may not. You have to always assume you're the last of your bloodline. You are the last in your line. So if society is now trying to force people to end bloodlines, and you're sitting there saying, yay, end your bloodline. You could be whatever you want. End your bloodline. You don't need any more the family of Joseph. We don't need any more Josephs. Yes, PB, nailed it. I want your bloodline to continue, okay? That's the thing I fear is like this indoctrination campaign gets us to end our bloodlines. It's like, I think about that with my kids. I'm like, guys, the world's a little crazy right now. But you're here because we made you. But if you don't make any more children, the Pires family bloodline dies. If my daughters have children, it sort of continues, but the name doesn't. The Pires family name stays with my son. If my son decides he's a girl and my family bloodline ends because my son is confused, I'm a bad father. I'm a bad Christian. So I inform my children to what reality is. And I have to say, I'm thankful that they live in, we're in the Northeast where it's as insane as the West. People are nuts.
You could be it. Whatever.
My kid sees it. My kid sees it for what it is. And I'm thankful that he's not warped by society. Because there are some people that are starved for attention to the point where they'll pretend there's something they're not. Yeah, I know. Andrea, tell me about it. Like, a show should have ended at 40 minutes ago. But of course, when I start talking and I start expressing myself in the real truth, which is also why we are where we are after 5 years. I know, Amy, thank you. Amy says he's letting it all out. Important to do. It's so true. But that's also why we are where we are. It's because I keep letting it out on a daily basis, even though I'm like, real estate, just real estate. You know, a good thing about it is we got the real estate out of the way. Based on what I see on my ratios there, like nobody watches the full show. So we're good. You know what I mean? By the time we get to the end when I did all this, everybody was tuned out anyway. They watch for 20 minutes, 25 minutes. They're not watching an hour and 30 in. You know what I mean? So I could say whatever the frig I want right now. It doesn't matter. No one's watching this part far into the show. It would be cool if people watched the whole shows because I think they're really awesome, but people just don't have the attention span anymore for an hour plus, you know, and I should take that note and just say, okay, we'll do 30 minutes a day, you know, and just try to make it super powerful, a song, piece of news, and a chat and get out because people aren't staying for the whole show. And maybe that's why my numbers are always suffering. You do 4-hour shows. No, you know? So now we're going to keep it simple, sort of. And I'll try my best to not go into these tangents. I do have to sometimes express how I feel or else it does affect me in a negative way the rest of the day. So part of the reason why I show up every day is to fully express self so I can get through the rest of this insanity that we're living through. So fam and friends, I will hopefully see you later. Hopefully, I will see you later for part 2. Let's see who's here with me on YouTube. I got Amy WC, Andrea O'Neill, Maudeve, so good to see you, my friend. Modoc Roughstock, my brother. PB, love seeing you, PB. Wharton Thistle, amazing. Over here on Clapper, we're dealing with it. I had Brown Power Ranger kicking it with me. Alex, Noda, Katie Homer, and Cool JB kicked it with me to the end. You rock, Cool JB. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully, if you can, head over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. Especially since you saw this, you really want to see what the YouTube channel looks like. This is like all green screen, and all we do is broadcast crazy stuff on that green screen. Movies, you know, even when I'm on the BeatSeat, I got like this cool ocean scene where the water's coming in. So until
Love
later.
life, Laura the beautiful.
Okay. Until later, fam, I will see you. Please share, leave a comment, and see you tomorrow. Oh, later. You got to go away, yeah. Have a great day, fam. Thanks for watching. Hope to be around 6-ish. We'll see. Stay tuned.